Here with women's soccer head coach Lars Andersson, previewing Saturday's matchup against Young Harris, an early start at 11 a.m. To start off the doubleheader with the men's team following at 1:30. Coach, let's talk about your month of October so far. You're currently on a 5-game unbeaten streak, just one loss this month. What is the confidence level of your team right now?
Well, I think we turned things around really with that Flagler game. We had back-to-back losses in the conference, and the second of those two games was really a heartbreaker when we lost with 3 minutes left in double overtime to Armstrong, a game that we really felt like a draw would have been a fair result. Not to take anything away from Armstrong, they're a fantastic team, but we were just really struggling after that game. We go down and play Flagler, obviously away. We don't play very well. But we finally pieced it together in the last 25 minutes and win the game in overtime, and that seemed to kind of start a snowball effect, and we started to find ways to win and really get on a roll here. And I think that's that being said, yes, our confidence is high at this time, but we're also aware of the fact that we play in the Peach Belt. There's not a single team in this league that can't, on any given Saturday, beat any of the other teams in the Peach Belt. We have Young Harris coming up, a team that we went into overtime with last year, won with, I think, 3 minutes into the first OT last year. They're a tough opponent. Then we have USC Aiken, who's always grinding out results. They always have an upset or two in their bag. And then obviously we finish out with Columbus State. So 9 points, potential 9 points left in these last 3 games, and it's important that we focus, one game at a time. And right now, our entire focus is on the Saturday's Young Harris game.
Columbus State, good segue. First edition of the NCAA Southeast Region rankings came out this week. Columbus State atop the poll. Second is North Georgia. Third, Clayton State. 4 is Armstrong. 5 is UNC Pembroke. A good start for your team for the first region poll, and obviously you can see how tough the Peach Belt Conference is to play in. But let's talk about what you have to do down the stretch to sort of move up maybe into the top 3 or 4.
Well, I think first off, I want to say that I think the committee did a good job, and I'm proud of the fact that they recognized that, and I keep tooting our own horn, but PBC is, if not the best, one of the best NCAA Division II conferences in the country in women's soccer, and I think it says a lot that we have 5 teams at the top of the initial NCAA rankings, but clearly we're going to need to find a way to climb 1 or 2 spots, because there are 2 automatic bids in our region. The Carolinas Conference gets a bid, and the SAC gets a bid. So at best, we're getting 4 bids in the Peach Belt. I think it's maybe more realistic to think that we get 3. Obviously, we have an automatic bid as well, so we could get that by winning the conference tournament, or getting that large bid, which is how we got into the tournament in 08 and 2010. So lots of soccer left to be played. Yes, it's a good sign that we're in the mix at this point. We are in the top 6 at this point, but that can change very quickly if we don't take care of business. So we're still focused on the Young Harris game. Sure, we take a glance at the poll, but the poll is not that important right now. It's important to be in the top 10 at this point. But things are going to change again before the final poll is released. So let's take it one game at a time at this point.
Let's talk about Young Harris now. 5-9 overall, just 2 wins and 9 conference games this year. But obviously, you probably learned that they're a pretty dangerous team.
Well, if you look at the statistics, I don't think they tell the whole story. They may not have won a lot of games in the Peach Belt, but they also haven't gotten blown out in a lot of games. They played a lot of very, very close games. They have a couple of special players, and I do not take this game for granted, and I can assure you that our players aren't either. We know that they're a good team, and as I stated earlier, we had to go into overtime to beat them last year. So we have a tremendous amount of respect for Young Harris, and we know that we need to come out and play our best soccer. We will not come away with a W.
Here with men's soccer head coach Phil Hines and preview on Saturday's matchup against Young Harris, nationally ranked team at home. 1:30 kickoff following an 11 a.m. women's game. Coach, let's go back again to your last game. You guys went down to Due West, South Carolina, and lost in one of the most heartbreaking fashions ever with 2 seconds left on the clock. Erskine finishes off a 2-goal comeback, beats you 2-1. Talk about that game. You guys played pretty well in that game, and you just sort of let an unfortunate goal get in.
Yeah, I mean, we really, the game should have been, we should have had the game in control. We, in my opinion, we should have been up 2-3 goals. We weren't, we never took our chances, but you know, there's been some other games recently that we have, and maybe had a little bit of fortune in certain games. In this game, it went a little bit against us, so disappointing. Erskine's a good team, but I still feel that we should have won, but we didn't.
Let's talk about your last 10 games. Still just 2 losses in your last 10 games now. You got to be happy with the way your team's playing, particularly as you head down the stretch now.
Yeah, as I said, the progress is the main thing. You know, as we're looking to get back to where we were, you know, a couple of years ago, and that's something that doesn't automatically happen. So I'm very excited moving forward. Excited looking into the spring and obviously into next year. So I'm very happy with the progress.
You made no secret about it that Young Harris is the team to beat in this conference. Obviously, you guys get your chance on Saturday, handling the first loss of the season. What's it going to take? What's it going to take to give Young Harris a loss here at Varsity Grounds?
I mean, we're gonna have to, whatever team, if they do it in the conference, you have to get very lucky on the day. Things are gonna have to go your way. I mean, you just have to get a lot of fortune. You're gonna have to take the chances when you get them. So really, it's a slim chance, but we'll do everything that we can to make that happen.